Hey, Clint Ayesh, Crestview Wine and Spirits. In this episode, we're going to talk decanting. So there seems to be a lot of mystery behind decanting. When to decant, which wines to decant. We want to talk a little bit about that today. One reason to decant is when you have a very young wine. Most wines being produced today are bottled young and sent right to the shelves and then obviously right to the buyer. So they're going to be wound pretty tight, big tannins. If you pour those into a decanter and let them set, those wines, they could set for an hour, 2 hours, even 3 hours in some cases or more. The big surface area of a decanter allows oxygen to get into the wine and to mellow out those tannins, make it just a little more approachable, just a little easier to drink. It really changes the wine and makes a big difference. A fun experiment would be to decant a wine and drink it from a glass and see how it changes the taste of the two. Older wines may be a little more fragile. If it's aged 5 to 7 years or even 10 years, you may want to be a little more careful with it. Don't decant it quite as forcefully, maybe not let it set as long. You want to get those bouquets and that aroma right away. The older wines really can benefit from it, but you want to be a little careful and know what you're working with. Before I pour wine into this decanter, I want to talk about something a lot of people have asked me about, and that's cleaning decanters. Just a brief note, you can get a special sponge created to get down in the decanter and clean the decanter very easily. These are readily available on the internet. After you're done, wash it in a mild detergent without any scent, clean it with this, and then turn it over in one of these stands to let it drip dry overnight. Sometimes it'll take a little longer than overnight, but that'll clean the decanter very easily. A lot of people don't know about those tools. One of the other things I want to talk about when it comes to decanting is sediment. I mentioned older wines. This helps with that sediment. You have a mesh screen which strains the sediment out, and then you have a funnel. The funnel has holes in it that allow the wine to shoot out all over the surface area of the decanter. The more surface area, the better. This allows you to get all the sediment out of older wines. Wines that have laid down 5, 7 years, once you lay them down, they develop a little bit of sediment. You might see in a fine restaurant, a waiter will use a candle or a little flame to backlight a bottle and see where the sediment is so it doesn't get in your wine. This may not be as elegant, but it's what we use at home and when we're grilling with friends and drinking. It's real easy. The mesh will catch all the sediment and you won't have to worry about that getting in there. Plus, if it's an older wine and you may have had a cork that crumbled or you got the worm from the waiter's key too far down into it, which we'll talk about in the opening a bottle episode. You might have some pieces of cork floating or whatever. This catches all of it. So when you decant the wine, let's go ahead and open a bottle. When decanting the wine, don't be afraid to get a little aggressive with it. You want to get oxygen into it. That's what the whole point is to get oxygen in and to kind of mellow out those tannins and get it ready to drink. So we'll pour it. So once you have it in the decanter, don't be afraid to swirl it the same way you would in your glass. Get the oxygen in there, as much surface area as you can hit. Let it set. Like I said, the young wines, they can set 3-4 hours. We usually open ours about an hour before guests come over. If we're open a 5 to 7 year old wine, even a 10-year-old wine, we may crack it open and decant it right when they get there. It's ready to drink. So that's all we have in this episode. Please leave your comments in the section down below. Let us know what you like and don't like and what you want to see in upcoming episodes. My name is Clint Ayesh, Crestview Wine and Spirits. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.